Today's daf is Masechet Nedarim, Daf Pei Ches. So we just finished the Mishnah on Pei Zayin and Beis. The Mishnah said that if a lady made a neder and the husband did not know, and the husband was not made for Piyam Shamai, but then after time he said that he knew that that there is a neder, and he knew that he knew his wife made a neder, but he did not know that a baal could be made for neder ishtoi. So then the halacha is the day that he knows that he could be made for, then he's allowed to be made for. That's considered Yom Shmiyah. Then the Mishnah said another halacha: if the baal says after some time, a few days after the time that the neder was made, he says, I know that the Ar Nedarim that I have, the Torah gave me a koach to be made for, but he did not know that this neder is included in that. So then there's a machlokes. Remeir says you cannot be made for because he already knew that there is a din that the baal could be made for. He just didn't know this neder. He's saying, so it's considered that it was already a shmiyah. And the Chacham say that he could be made for. So that's a machlokes, the second halacha, or Meir Chacham. Zok the Gemara. So Zok the Gemara. The Remeir says in the Mishnah that somebody that knows that there is such a thing as a darim, and he doesn't know b'chlal the dini afara, he can't be made for in the day of the Shmiyas HaNeder because he does not consider that. Okay, so the Gemara is asking that from the Reisha, that means Remeir argues, the machlokes Remeir Chacham in the Seifa. But in the Reisha, where he's saying that I know there's such a thing in a darim, but he doesn't know that it's mefirin. Eli dash yesh mefirin. So when he heard the neder, but the Mishnah says yafer, so the Remeir is masked to that. So the Gemara is going to ask like this. Let's see what the Gemara's kasha is. Veraminu, there's a halacha legab the chiyav galus. If somebody kills the chiyav galus, when's the chiyav galus? If a guy kills somebody else, b'shoig is a chiyav galus. So the Torah says legab the chiyav galus. B'minu parak lamed hey pasach chaf gimel. Oy b'chol evan ashayamas ba b'loy ra'os vayapil ola vayamas. So we darshan from the words b'loy ra'os. We darshan that somebody is stam, he's Isaac in we say that the pasuk is talking about somebody that normally sees. That's below rois, and it happened that he killed his friend below rois. So that's when we say that there's a chiyav galos, somebody that normally sees, and this time he didn't see. Prat, excluding a suma that does not see at all. So if he kills b'shoyig, a suma is not chayiv galos. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. Remeir, however, he argues and he says, Oimer l'Rav is a suma. He says, below rois is coming to a marba suma, because even a suma, he does have some kind of idea to what's going to his surroundings. He knows, he can hear a guy, somebody around him. So therefore, a mayor holds that since it's a mixas idea, it's considered like idea gemur legabe the chiyav galus, and it's mechayiv you a chiyav galus, and even assuming be chayiv galus. So the Gemara's kasha is how come in the Reisha and Mishnah when we say yedei anishiyesh nedarim, but he says this part that there's no idea, he doesn't know about the mefirin so much. How come over there can be made for? The chor is a mixas idea, because he knows that the nether was chal. So l'chayr should have a din like yediyah gemura, just like we see like the chiyav galus, that a shtickle yediyah, a shtickle yediyah legabe the chiyav galus for a suma is considered a whole yediyah and he's chayav galus. That's the Gemara's susha. That's the Gemara's kasha. So after the Gemara Amar Rava, hacha legabe ritzicha, they learned out minyana dekra. But hacham and yana dekra, it's two different things. Says Dr. Gemara, even though the Gam Nedarim and Meir might hold that mixtas idea is not considered a idea gemura, however, the Gam Mesuma, the specific pesukim, and tell you otherwise. Says Dr. Gemara, what's a shaila here? If Yehuda savar gav ritzech, so by ritzech it says Dvarim Periket has pasukei v'asher yover Yisrael bayar. If he comes into a forest to chop eitzim and nitchiyaz v'gar zen luchos eitz v'noshal habarzel min eitz amos Yisrael v'meis. It's mashma the Torah is mechayiv galus. Kol debar me'al yar. Anybody that somebody can go into Yar, Vesuma, not a Bar Me'el Yar or the Suma, is also capable of going to far. So in Mele, it's like Gemara, that's where Yehuda holds that he's also included in the Parasha goals. V'i Amrit, B'loi Ra'os L'Rabi Suma. If you want to tell me, Zakti Gemara, that the pasuk B'loi Ra'os is also coming to Marba Suma, that is B'chlal Riyah, because he could feel if there's people around him. So Ibizay L'chayr it's Shver. Miyar Nafkali, L'chayr already learned now from the extra word by Yar. Not from the extra word, but from the fact that you see that Torah is telling anybody that's capable of walking into Yar. So Ibizay B'loi Ra'os is extra. Ella Zakti Gemara, Shmami, no, that you could learn out from B'loi Ra'os, Pratal Suma, the Patav from Gal. So that sheets are Behuda. B'loi Ra'os, come and tell you that it's coming to exclude Suma. But Rameir Savar Zakti Gemara, they dash like this. Ksiv, it says, V'zedvar Tseach, Hashiyana Sham V'chai Shiyakasher B'vli Das, and it's mashma the Torah's B'chai Galus called by Meida. Anybody that has Yediyah, that he knows where the stone is that he's going to throw. The Suma La Bar Meidahun, but a Suma L'char is in the smite because he doesn't know where it's going to land. V'i Amrit B'loi Ra'os Prat L'Suma. If you tell him B'loi Ra'os, come and tell you Prat L'Suma that he's Pat from Galus, like Rabbi Yehuda. Say it's Shver, Fraktur Meir. I L'char, you already learn out from Bleed Das Nafkaleh. You already learn out from Bleed Das because he has no das. He doesn't know where whatever he's going to throw. He doesn't know where the Evan's going to land. Oh Shmami knows like the Gemara. So Dr. Meir, B'loi Ra'os L'Rabi Asuma. B'loi Ra'os coming in Marbas Asuma. And he's also Chayiv Galus if he kills B'Shaygig. Because you find two miyutim v'asuma. You have a vlidas kamtois, and you have a miyut B'loi Ra'os. And what's Allah? The concept in Shas when you have two miyutim is a miyut achamiyut al rabbis. So it's going to come to a marba that has a chayiv galus. So kamtois machlekes Rabbi Yehuda and Meir Zaktin Gemara over here specifically Rabbi Galus is a machlekes in how you dash psukim. Machlekes l'gam Nedarim is just a shail and svara. Do you say that a mixes yediyah that he knows that it's a neder, is that considered yediyah shlema? And it's considered yem shama, and it can't be made for anymore. It's just a shail and svaras. There's nothing to do with drashas and psukim, so you can compare the halacha of yediyah l'gabi galus to the halacha of yediyah l'gabi hilchas nedarim. Adkan. So that's that Gemara. Zokt the Heilige Mishnah, weiter, new Mishnah. So this Mishnah is going to discuss that if a father-in-law asks his future son-in-law, or not future son-in-law, he asks his son-in-law from his nechasim, from his nechasim, and the Mishnah is going to explain how he could give money to his daughter without her husband being zeichen, because he's not allowed to have enough. In order they should not be able to argue on his net. Zok the Mishnah, Hamadi Anoa Mechasane. If someone asks his Hana and his son-in-law, however, he wants to give his daughter money. But Lamaisa is a din, Legabe Ishas, that Mashkansa Isha Kanabaila, whatever a woman is zeicher and a husband is zeicher. So Lachera, how do you avoid that problem? So Zakta Mishnah, the father tells his daughter, these monies are given to you as a gift, or eventually but it should be yours. Ella Masha says your husband should have no part of it. Masha says so whatever comes into your mouth, that's when she's like in it, and a husband, even though he has rights to whatever mashkansi shakana baila, however, if anything that goes in her mouth, what's already in her mouth, that he's not zeichen, because a person can't be zeichen something that's in somebody else's mouth, even if it's his wife, it doesn't make a difference. So that's the eitzah. That's what the Mishnah is saying. That's how you will have that. He won't be over on the nether. So the Gemara is going to discuss like this. There's halacha legabe Eved Kanani that he goes free. How? If his master is mekabel money somehow through him, and in exchange he goes out free. That's a shecher. So there's machloikis tanaim in kedushin daf chaf beis and beis. How is this nesinas hakesef given to his rabbi, his master? Rameir holds that other people have to give money to his rabbi in exchange for a shecher, but if someone gives the money to the Eved, then he can't be in a shtacher with it. Why? Because Yad Eved Kiyad Rabbi. It's as if his rabbi already has it. He's ready Zeichen before the shecher ever happens. However, Shitas Chachamim is that the Eved could go out al yidei himself giving money. If people give him money, I'm a nas she'ein l'Rabbi rishus by. They tell him, I'm giving you money, but I don't want your master to have rishus on it. So the Mishnah holds like Rameir, which Rameir says l'gav shecher Eved Kanani, that if it's given to the Eved Yad Eved Rabbi, it's the same thing. The Mishnah that says that if you give it to the daughter and the husband zeichen it, it's a problem. So that would be like Shitas Rameir l'gav shecher. So Zok the Gemara. Amar Rav. Rav says lo yishanu that the Baal is not zeichen in the chasan that his wife is makabel from her father. Ella, the Amar Allah, her father tells her, Amanas she'en l'bayalach rishus behen, and masha'at neseis v'nesenes beficha. In that case, the Baal is not zeichen in it because the lady herself is not zeichen until it actually goes into her mouth, and her husband can't be zeichen with it in her mouth. Aval amar mash tertziasi, but if the father tells the daughter, whatever you want, do with this money, then kana yashain Baal, then the Baal is going to be kind of these monies. Why? Because like she just Rameir, that if the Eved gets money from somebody, then it doesn't make a difference. The other is in it. So according to Rav holds that the halacha is like Rameir, and that's what the Mishnah is going like. But Shmuel says differently. Shmuel says that the Mishnah does hold like Rameir, that if the father does not say l'mashat and it says when the son is laficha that the Baal is zeichen in the chasim. However, Shmuel holds that Shmuel argues in the Iker Din and holds that the halacha is like the Chachamim. Legabe Shecher Eved Kanani, he holds that you could give Eved Kanani money al manas she'en l'Rav rishus ba, and therefore he holds that afilu amar mash tertziasi, even if a father tells his daughter that whatever you want to do with the money, the halacha is his tanais kayim, and he could tell his daughter, I'm giving you money, I don't want your husband to have it, like kaniyas and baal, the baal's not kayna. So Shmuel's saying, yeah, you're right, the Mishnah's takamasha like Rameir, but Shmuel argues on the Iker Din and holds that the halacha is like the Chachamim, and the halacha is really not like our Mishnah. So this frekti Gemara, Maskvlor Bzera. So Maskvlor Bzera is going to ask on this concept that Rav is saying, Machlekes Rav and Shmuel. So Rav is one that says that the Mishnah is going with Shitas Rameir, Gabe Shecher, Mashkana Eved Kana Rabbi, and Huadin, Mashkana Isha Kana Baila, and there's no way to avoid that. The Maskvlor Bzera doesn't like this. Frekti Bzera. Kaman Ozla Hashmai de Rav. Who's this going like that? Amanash in Labaila Rishus Behen, then the Baal would be Zeichen it. Kurim Meir, it's going to Meir that says in Mesech Gedushin, the Amar Yadi Shkiad Baila. Frektig Mar Veramino, I'll ask you a kash on this from the Mishnah Erev and Daf Ayin Test on the base. Like a Mavi that has a lot of Chatzeras. That Me'ikar Adin, you're allowed to carry from the Chatzeres Lamavi because it's all one Rishos Hayachid. However, Shloim HaMelech was Geyser Iser, like the Gemara says in Erev and Daf Chafal Beis, and the way to matter this tiltal is only al yidei shetufei mevois. That if you have one house that has Meichel or Mashka that belongs to all Bnei Amavi, so this shituf, this partnership, makes the whole Rishos one Rishos. So the Mishnah there explains in Erevin, Keitzah Meshatvin, how are Bnei Chatzeres, how do they partner up in this, how are they Meshativ? But Mavoi, How they mishata for one mavi? Meniach is a chavius. They put the chavius of wine or the food, and they say hareza l'chol b'nei mavi. This should be kane to all the people in mavi that they should be shutvim in this chavius. However, the owner of the chavius itself cannot make a ma'aseh kinin for the rest of the people in mavi. Rather, he has to be makna to them al yidei somebody else umezakalahen. And he's mizaka to them their chilik in the chavis, al yidei abdo, al yidei his eved, his shifcha, ha'ivrim, which they have a schus to be zeicher themselves, and therefore they can be zeicher for others also. Val yidei beno yubita hagadolim, and also he could be zeicher to them al yidei his son or daughter that are gadolim, al yidei ishtoi, which they also have a yad to be kainim. But Zak the Mishnah finishes off and says that only Evet Shifcha Ha'ivriim. However, if it's Kananim, then they can't. Why? Because you say Yadam is Ki Yadai. So in Mela they don't have a koyach to be Zaych. So Zak the Gemara, so Frek Reb Zera on Rav, Halachaira sta Mishnah, you say, is like Rameir. And if you say that Kana Yasain Baila, that whatever Isha Zeichin, her husband Zeichin, just like Yad Avikir Rabbi, sorry, Bezoi, Erev Lenafik Meshus Debal. So come to this Erev never goes out of the Rishus of the husband. And what did the Mishnah say? If it's Avdesh Chasei Ivriim, or Yidei Ishtai, he could be Zeichel. Lachaira, what do you mean? If you go where a mayor Yad Ishak Yad Baila, and just like he himself can't be Zeichel in a Chavis for the other B'nai Mavi, and just like you say Lagabi Eved Kanani, they can't be Zeichel because it's Yad Eved Yad Rabbi. So to Isha also should not be Zeichel, be able to Zeichel for the rest of B'nai Mavi because Yad Yad Baila. And Lachaira in our Mishnahs before that she could. So you see that l'chayra, what do you see from this? That maybe Rameir's whole halacha Yad K'ad Rabbi is only legabe the din of Evet, only legabe Evet Kanani, but not legabe a lady. So why did the Gemara Reb Zera is asking that Rav said that our Mishnah holds like Rameir? And you say that, just like you say, Rameir says Yad Eved Kiyad Rabbi, you would say Yad Isha Kiyad Baila, and Rameir, the father can't give his son, a father-in-law cannot give a father can't forgive his daughter money that would have belonged to a husband, unless he says, Mashat, and he says, when the son is Faficha, until it goes into him out, L'chari, you see, you don't say such a thing from a missionary, and everything Gemara, Amarava, Afagav Damar, Meir Yadish Kiyad Baila, even though, so Emfred Rava, Afagav Damar, Meir Yadish Kiyad Baila, even though Meir says Yad Isha Kiyad Baila, and like Rav says that even the Gabi Isha, you say this din, and therefore if a father gives her Nechasim, then the Baal is automatically Zeichem it. However, Zok the Gemara, Moider Meir is maskim that if the Baal himself gives a matana to his wife, then she's Zeichem it all the way. That's something else. Why? Because he's giving her Ba'ayin Yafa, and he has no intention of holding it back for himself. And therefore, the guy with the din of Shitov, Zok the Gemara, the Indian Shitov, the Kavan de Lazakas Lacherim who Nafik Miyad Baila, since it's legabe shtuvim mevoyos. So the isha could be zeich in this era for the other people in the mavi because it's for others, and the husband's intention is to give her a matana, and he doesn't want it. So the mela zachia, therefore she could be zeicher for the other people in the mavi, and Rameir would agree. So the din of erevin is different. Frekting Gemara, Eis Ravina Rav Ashi, Ravina asked on Rav Ashi, the Brisa says, "Lagav shtufim voice, elu shazachim lahen al yedei benoy yibita agadolim va'avdav shchasei ivrim," because they have a yad to be for Kenyan. I think you're zayich about other people. Ve'elu she'ein zachem lahen, and the Brisa says, and these are the ones that you can't be zayich al yedei them al yedei benoy yibita hakatanim Ba'avdosh chasa hakananim ve'ishtain. Over there it says ishtai. Why? Because yadas kiad balabayis. I mean, Melish can't be zeicha for other people in the Mavi. Not like and it's not like, clearly not more like the Mishnah in Erevin. And according to Rava, according to Rava's explanation in the Mishnah in Erevin, the Baal could be koina erev al yidei ishtai, not more in Brisa. So Zakti Gemara, Ella Amar Rav Ashi has a different teretz to answer to Miyashiv, the Mishnah and Erevin and our Mishnah over here. Ella Amar Rav Ashi, that Avadar and Meir holds, even Lagabi Isha, that Yados Kiad Baila. And just like Rav said, Umasnisa in the Mishnah and Erevin that says that the wife could be Zoicha in the Erev for the people in the Mavi, that the husband can be Mizaka, the wife can be Zoicha for the other people. What's Pshat? B'sheyesh la chatzar. That's talking about that the wife has a chatzar, the Isha has a chatzar that does not belong to her husband, but Oisei Mavi Askina. She has her own chatzar in that Mavi. And since all the people in that Mavi have to be Zoicha in the Erev, so she also has to be Zoicha in her Chelik in the Erev of her husband. So the halacha, so we say over therefore we say the Migud Zachan Nafsha because she's Zoicha herself, because a Baal is giving matana to his wives, and he's not mischam to Mishai or anything, like it's before the Gemara of Basra. And Alpha Bay Zachil Achwina. Therefore we say we have a Migud, we say she could also be Zoicha for other people, for the other people in the Mavi. So males the Miyashra the Brisa, because the Brisa that says that the Brisa that we just asked to steer from, that says not like the missionary, and that says that you can't be Zeichel Dei Ishta, is talking about in a scenario, in a case where the Isha does not have a chatzar in that Mavi. So in that case, Taka will say, since she doesn't have a chatzar in that Mavi, she Taka can't be Zeich for herself, and Melish can't be Zeich for other people also.